man, Wes, I'm juiced up for this edition of Lowco Pigskin Live. Just came in hot about 8 minutes ago from Hilton Head High, where we had a Donnybrook. Man, it was everything you want. Sam said today, heavyweight fight, and he was wrong though. They did not have that George Foreman knockout punch. Buford rallies to win 20-17, despite really a head scratching night from Samari Bonds, who threw, I think, 3 picks and they dropped another one. Then got banged up, came out, did his Willis Reed limping back onto the field thing. Jonathan Chen got a shout out on WSAV for getting him back on the field to, seal the game. So quite a game, a moral victory that was snatched from the jaws of actual victory by Hilton Head. So we'll talk about that one a lot more later. You were out at Ridgeland where Whale Branch took care of business, 44-18. It was competitive early, but Whale Branch putting it on in the second half. We've got Jeff Strickland waiting in the green room. We're going to get him in here real shortly because Patrick Henry shocking the Skeeza world, 47-21 over Lee Academy, the defending champs, on the canvas tonight. And also out in Hampton County, crazy finish. The Hurricanes are 3-0, 27-24 over Emerald. Crazy finish. Let me tell you about this. So let me get it word for word. All right. I can't mess this up. So Hurricanes have the ball at 50-yard line. They're trying to seal the win. They're up by 3, right? Trying to run it out. They run a fake punt, complete the pass. He's going down the sideline. Here comes Emerald, catches him at the 6, strips the ball. So Emerald gets the ball in the shadow of their own goalpost. They drive down in position for a 32-yard field goal to try to tie it. Bad snap, returned by Hampton to the 20, and they kneel it out to win 27-24. Wow. So phenomenal game out there. Battery Creek was up 26-7 on Calhoun County. I don't know what happened, but the Saints win 41-26. May River absolutely demolished Waccamaw. I mean, you worry about whether your team will be ready.
They going back to the top of the day, they were prepared.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm trying to, they chose the pain of discipline, right? They were, because here's the thing. They faced a really tough wishbone offense in Waccamaw. And I mean, I say a really tough wishbone offense. I think a wishbone offense is tough on a short week, no matter what. So, really disciplined on defense, good stuff. 2 picks, Cameron Mitchell with 1, Nodelman with 1. Nodelman's been laying wood. He gets a pick. He also, not much on offense. Macy, though, 14 for 124 and 3 touchdowns and threw for a touchdown. That's big time.
Very encouraging.
I mean, Jordan Williams, that's the guy that I wanted to see tote the rock. He got 11 for 127 and a touchdown. I mean, I'm excited about what Mid River's doing on offense. We wanted to see him show some different stuff. It's exciting. So they win 45-6. I got sidetracked there, but Branchville wins 38-31 over Colleton Prep, but there's an asterisk. Cole Davis did not play. Freshman quarterback acquitted himself quite well for Colleton Prep. I think Colleton Prep's a dangerous team. Nick Schuford was there watching them because he knows BA's got to get past Colleton Prep. They're still the region champs for now. Well, I guess BA was the region champ, right? But then Colleton got them in the playoffs. So, it's a battle, and they may see each other twice again this year. St. Andrews 36-7 over JP2. I assume that means no CT4. Just by the way that one unfolded. Northwood 40-12 over Thomas Hayward. Dietrich Schuford was at that one. He was relaying some stuff from me. Most interesting thing, Hayward was in it early. It was 7-6, but then Tonio Banner was the starting quarterback. That was an interesting thing that I learned. So that seems like a good point. That's all our scores. So seems like a good spot to bring in Jeff Strickland to talk about a couple things, which I saw you scratching your head about that Tonio Banner starting quarterback thing. That's intriguing. But more importantly, Patrick Henry laying a whooping on the defending champs. Tell us about it, man.
Yeah, if Coach Spence would hurry up and pull out of here because the truck's so dang loud.
Gotta love it when we got live from the farm.
Got one of the other coaches yelling at me, "Oh, I see you on TV." Yeah, we're at the school hanging out, just talking about the game. But
welcome to the farm, right?
Yeah, y'all shut up and let me do this. I mean, Yeah, it was. What was the score at halftime? 14 to. It was 21-14
Oh,
at
here,
half.
you don't have to do all that. I can read you your text back to you.
Gotcha.
You were up 7-0 going into the second quarter, and then it was almost halftime 19-14 us. And then it was halftime 21-14 us, which means there was a safety involved. And then it was 28-14.
We went for 2.
Oh, 2-point conversion. Okay, so yeah, you kind of jumped the gun. You could have waited for the 2-point conversion to give me the update. That would have been okay. Then we got 21-14 at halftime. Then we got 28-14 halfway done with the third. Then we got 34-21 us, 3:43 left in the third. And then it's 47-21 us, 6 minutes left in the game. Final. Hugh played the game of his life. So that's the cliff notes. Give us the rest.
Gotcha. So, yeah, our they started out on offense. We held them to 3 and out. We get the ball, and we'd drawn up early this week. We were going to run a trick play. We were going to pitch it to Michael T, and he was going to throw a pass. Well, first pass is an 85-yard bomb to Forrest, score a touchdown. We're up 7-0, and it just kind of went from there. I mean, I got to give a lot of credit to the D line, Cohen Freeman, Alan Berg, AJ Jarrell, Andy Searles. I feel like I might be missing some names. But those guys, I mean, they had some drives and everything, but the D-line really held, and, we get them to go 3 and out. They scored. It was so one of they ran a pass, and it was, they got a touchdown with blown coverage. The other score they got was like a reverse pass, so a trick play. And then their last score was a kick return in the second half. So really our defense held them pretty good. But our offense, man, like I said, when I say Hugh played the game of his life, he had 3 rushing touchdowns and he threw for 3 touchdowns. So his stats, let's see, he was 12 for 26 and he had 264 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. And then on the ground, he had 143 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns.
Well,
I mean,
we'll tell you
he
right
would
now,
not be denied.
This is player of the week material that you guys are going to have to pick from, because he's going to be right up there. Did you expect a game like this from him against such a quality team? I mean, you must be very impressed about what you saw on the field, especially from your quarterback.
I think we were all expecting a close game. Maybe a 28-21 or a 28-24. I wasn't expecting a 20-point blowout like that. I mean, it was. We're still hanging out talking about it now. I mean, it was awesome.
Oh, those are the best ones. The ones where everybody's just hanging around somebody's somebody's truck bed, and you just don't want to leave because the magic's still lingering in the air. Those are the ones that are that you just can't. They keep you coming back, man. Because every once in a while you get one like that. So now y'all will talk about this one for a long time, no question, and it definitely sets the stage for your little storyline on the soap opera. To have a pretty storybook ending in November. So, a long way to go, but you guys are on the track to us getting to close out the season with you up at Charleston Southern. So that's amazing stuff, man. Let's talk about some of these other Skeeza scores while we got you. Northwood 40-12 over Hayward. Tonio Banner, Tonio QB. That didn't see that one coming, but he's the best player on the field most of the time.
I got a guest over here. I got
oh no, who we got?
Gerald.
Hey, bro.
Oh man, Gerald. Hey, Gerald, this is live TV now. Don't get us in trouble with the FCC.
I got my AirPods in. He can't hear you.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
He said, "Don't say anything to get him in trouble."
Nah, man. Proud of my boy.
Man.
Proud of my boy.
We got a good laugh from the gang on the farm over there, man. I grew up with cats just like you out raccoon hunting and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I know how to deal with y'all Patrick Henry people. No, let's talk about some of them other Skeeza games. Northwood 40-12 over Hayward. Colleton Prep 38-31 lost to Branchville, but no Cole Davis. So, that's a good showing for me. I like that. St. Andrews big over JP2, which we assume again was
Tilton play?
I assume not. It was 36-0 at one point. I don't see how that could be true.
If Tilton was played, that would be very
he was He was highly doubtful, according to his coach and his father 2 days ago. So, I mean, it was they weren't going to risk it for a non-region game. I don't think he's too important. So, you let some guys grow up in that game, and get some reps that are going to help you down the road.
For more important games to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Johnny Waters again, man. 3-0 at Northwood after just a dog season last year. I mean, obviously it's a different cast of characters, but he turned that thing around in an absolute hurry. So that's your Skeezer roundup, and now we can get into the big dogs, baby. I was on SAV. Jeff, we'll let you get out of here unless you have anything to say about those Skeezer games.
I mean, I don't have much to say. I think there might be one year miss. I think Cross played at Dorchester tonight. I haven't heard a score from that.
Oh, what? You might be right.
And Holy Trinity was playing Andrew Jackson
janky again when I was collecting schedules, so I might have missed.
Yeah, Andrew Jackson moving that 8-man kind of made everybody's schedules crazy. But and then I think Andrew Jackson and Holy Trinity were playing. That's all I can think of right now. And I know, but we've got Calhoun Academy next week, so I think they played St. John's, and I think St. John's beat them 30-6 or something like that. But we gotta go to St. Matthews, so we'll see how it goes. They beat us last year in the rain. I think we're ready for some revenge.
All right, man. Sounds good. Sorry, I'm trying to get people in here that are having trouble with the link multitasking, but we appreciate your insight and always appreciate. We got some. Yep. Go Hagen. We'll come see you. I promise, man. We got to give a little Lowco on Lowco matchup, but Searle says don't forget my targeting.
Yeah, Andy. We played 3 games. Andy's got targeting in 2 of them. So.
Goodness, Searle's just dial it back a little bit, man. Just dial it back a little bit, like that. It's at 11. Just crank it back to 10.5. You don't got to get targeting every game. Do you get ejected?
No, he did not. You don't get ejected in high school, I don't think.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. But yeah, just dial it back a little, man. It's all good. 10.5 will get it done. Most weeks. But you can go to 11 for that. Yeah, Max says Andy got that dog in him. No doubt. He's a catcher, right? Doesn't he catch?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, catchers, you got to have dog in you to be a catcher. It requires it. It's a requirement back there. So, well, we appreciate you, man. That's enough skis. People are waiting for the big dogs, the high school league. So we'll let you get back to the party. Say hey to all the folks out at the farm, and we'll talk to you real soon.
All right, man. Y'all take care.
All right, you too. All right, good times at the farm. Going to be a party at the farm all night. I already got a text from Coach Brown saying, how about the Patriots? So.
I think if they keep this up and Hugh Ferry plays, you don't expect a game like that every night, but if he continues to manage the game and have that kind of potential out there in the field, with the swarming defense that as he mentioned, there's a lot of special teams, a lot of fluky plays that end up going for scores for the Academy. So if they play like this, I think they are going to be well on their way to a game at Charleston Southern. Obviously, a long way to go, but they are looking like maybe the team to beat right now in Skeezer 1A after taking down defending champs. But you can't let it humble you too much. You gotta stay focused a long season ahead, and certainly you gotta take. It's nice to win this game, but you just gotta look at it the next week, take all the good things that you did, and continue to build. And I just love the approach they've had. A team that came in hungry, and they are proving every bit of why they should be right there at the top of 1A. So really excited for the Patriots, and I'm hopefully we'll be able to see them at some point, if not week before Thanksgiving to end off the Skeezer season. That's the goal.
Yeah. I mean, you said maybe the favorite, they're the favorite.
Yeah.
They're the team to beat because they've just beat the snot out of the team to beat.
I'm trying to
47-21. Right. I just don't know who else there could be. St. John's Christian was supposed to be
their level.
St. John's Christian was supposed to be one of them, and they beat them last week too.
So who else is there? They're right there at the top. Yeah.
They're the team now. They got the target. So the target is on their back. Hayward's going to want a piece for sure. No question. I think Dorchester, they got some edge to them this year too. So I think they could be a factor, but I don't think there's any question that you have to say at this point that it's Patrick Henry. And that's also it. And we talk about it all the time. That championship taste doesn't just wash away. Like, you still got that taste in your mouth, man. They can still taste it from the spring, and they know there's a chance that they can drink from that cup again, and they want some, man. They want it. So let's talk about your game, because I think that Whale Branch team has a little bit of that hunger too. And tell me about, our guys Daryl and KJ and all them guys.
I'll tell you what, it was looking kind of bleak at one point in that first half, because the Jags were all fired up. Not only did they make a goal line stand, but then Maurice Brown comes up with a 95-yard touchdown pass, and all of a sudden the Jags are ahead. The place is rocking. You got the light show going on. The fans are getting into it, and then all of a sudden, next play, Whale Branch takes the momentum right back. Daryl Cummings to the house, and after that, there really wasn't much response from Richland. After that, it was all Warriors, and just the mettle that this Whale Branch team showed after getting a tough punch there on both sides of the ball. They just got right back to it, and I'll tell you what, it's been great to see them use so much more of Bradford Thompson. I mean, absolute beast defensively, but he was doing some work on the ground, giving the big man the ball, let him carry the rock. It's been hard to stop him, man. He was busy as well. KJ Chisholm, it's been so fun to watch him. He's so elusive with the football, making men miss. And, really, despite it was really just a couple of blips there in the second quarter, but other than that, it was Whale Branch in dominant form at a Ridgeland team that was, came into this game with a lot of emotion, was feeling good. And we saw a lot of good signs from this Jaguars team, but this Wheelbridge team is just a little bit too loaded, too talented, and we kind of saw how complete of a 1A football team they were tonight, and how to respond, because we didn't really see what would happen if they get down in a game like that, and just the composure to get right back at it and to go to what works, go to that ground game. And the offensive line did a good job there, just wearing down that Ridgeland defense, especially into the end of that first half and then into the second half. So, I love the fight. I think this is a much better Ridgeland team than we've seen these last 2 years. I think Rodney Barson's still a lot from these guys. Still a lot of work to be done, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. Obviously, we say it all the time, but it'd be a lopsided score, but I liked what I saw from Ridgeland Maurice Brown. I think they've got some dudes there, and I think they're gonna give some teams problems. I think getting those 2 wins was huge. I'm not sure how many more they're gonna get, because the schedule gets a lot tougher when you get into that region. But I think they're gonna find a way to sneak into the postseason when all is said and done. That's a team that they'll fight. They're gonna give you a couple different looks. I like the way Maurice Brown was able to throw the football tonight, and then use his legs as well to pick up yards. But Whale Branch deservedly the better team, and they come out on top and ended up being a pretty decisive win, but a fun one. It was back and forth in that first half, but Jag just unable to keep it up after that in the second half. But Jerry Hatcher, the way he coaches his team and the way he just gets on his guys to perform and deliver, it's fun to watch. That's the culture that you need, and it's a fun team. You got obviously. I think the strength right now is in that line with that Bradford Thompson, that offensive line doing a great job, and then conversely on the other side, I think Thompson's been the main guy, but you've been seeing some other guys step up as well. Daryl Cummings, absolute dog.
Speak of the devil. Guess who's in the green room? It's Daryl Cummings. What's up, bro? And KJ Chisholm. What's happening, dudes?
My boy.
Going on. What's up, Daryl?
What's up?
So, your pops, Daryl, says that Ridgeland's going to win some games. They're a good team. I agree. And last night, we did the mutual respect thing, the respect your opponent. I think you got some respect now, right? Like, they gave you a fight, you came out and you won it. So tell us about it.
Yeah. As the game went along, they was giving my respect and all that. So I respect them boys. They played a good game. They were way better than what I thought they was. I respect them boys for real. My offensive line, they stepped up, and I appreciate them for that. And I had to listen to the coaches. They had seen something I didn't see. and I had did what they told me to do, and I'm just glad I can put on for the team.
KJ, that was a battle out there. You guys had to fight. You were down at the end of that first half. How did you guys respond to get back up the mat? A big touchdown to end the half, and then right back at it to start the second half, orchestrated by the man right here, Daryl Cummins. Daryl, how good did that feel to get those couple scores and rally your team back?
Still ain't got an 80-yarder, though. Still ain't got an 80-yarder. Coach Hatcher's right.
It was basically 75 yards. But yeah, it felt real good. Like my old linemen, they just told me, they was like, "Hey, I need to play." So me, I just want to be a leader for the team. So I stepped up, and they stepped up. So we just both did what we had to do, and luckily I could get 2 touchdowns back to back and pull the lead away. So yeah.
Yeah. So KJ, going into this season, the plan was not for you to be a quarterback. That was not the plan. But as Coach Hatcher said last week, live on the lowdown, I put my best player at quarterback. That makes a lot of things. And so, you're accepting the role. You gave us the Lamar Jackson comp the other night. What were you able to do tonight? How are you kind of, feeling yourself into this role as QB1?
I mean, I just know I gotta carry my face. It wasn't as easy running this week because they watched a lot of film. They were setting the edge, but I mean, all it takes is one time for a defensive end to bite, and I'm out of there. That's what I did tonight. I didn't score on offense till late in beginning fourth quarter, something like that.
But you guys, it seemed like when you were down to 3rd and 4th down tonight, you just trusted your offensive line, followed your blockers, and got it done. What can you say about the group of 11 guys that found a way to put the ball where it needed to be and move the chains on seeming like, other than that one time they stopped in the end of the first half, you guys seem to always have their number on offense.
Really just believing in the coaches, believing what the coaches tell us, because they push us hard at practice. They tell us that we could be great, so we believe it, and we go out there and try our hardest.
All right, we got a question. What school they're from? Whale Branch Warriors, baby, out in Seabrook, 44-18 over Ridgeland. They are 2-0, and I got you ranked much higher in my 1A ballot than the statewide rankings have you. I believe in the Warriors. I know last year was a fluke, man. I mean, a couple of injuries that you guys just could not afford to those guys who were just keys on both sides of the ball, and it was just too much to overcome. But I mean, you got the guys back to make a run, and I can see the confidence. I can see the camaraderie. It feels like it can be a special year in Seabrook. Tell me. Tell me I'm right.
You're right. That's how everybody on the team feel. Everybody on the team feel like this could be a great year. This could be a great year for us. That's how everybody, coaches, players, that's how everybody feel. It could be a great year.
My man Willie's having fun with the offense, ain't he?
Yes, sir.
How about Bradford Thompson getting in there, showing his power of that running back and then being an absolute dude on that defensive line. How fun is it to watch him compete, and what have you learned from just his level of eliteness out there?
It's always fun because when they're going crazy on the D line and linebackers, it make my job easy at corner. So I love when they do good.
Yeah, it's a team effort all the way around, man. And when everything's working together, it's really special. You got a great coaching staff that gets you well prepared, like you said the other night, Daryl. They have you well prepared. Coach Hatcher and his staff, they know what they're doing. They're going to have you as well prepared to be successful as they can. And it's up to you at that point. Y'all are taking care of business so far. And Pop says that your Waffle House is getting cold. So we're going to let you boys get out of here. We're going to shout out some sponsors and then get some other guests in here from the green room. But congratulations on a big win, and you're off to the races, man. The sky's the limit for the Whale Branch Warriors.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, fellas.
You too.
Love those guys, man. They're becoming main characters on the soap opera, on our little improv show. They're so good on camera. I enjoy them. Got to shout out a few sponsors. before we go too much further, our MVP sponsors, they make it all possible. My voice is really struggling. I'm going to have to get Marcus. Marcus assist too, because we just called a game that was wild and crazy.
Yes, that
I'm
was.
going to talk about in just a minute, but I'm going to get through this the best I can. Our MVP sponsors, starting off with my wife, the official realtor of Lowco Sports, who is fast asleep right now, Megan Jarrett from the Pierce Group. You can help. She can help you find your place in the Lowco, whether it's a starter home or a forever home. She is going to work hard for you to find the right home. And then when you close the deal, you're going to call on Mickelson Law Firm, the original sponsors of Lowco Sports, still with us 6.5 years later. They're the official real estate attorneys of Lowco Sports, and they can take care of all your legal needs. And just to make sure it's the right house and it's been built well and it's a good investment, we're going to call on Homegrown Home Inspections. The man, Jan Lucas, mayor of Margaritaville, but he can inspect houses in other neighborhoods too. He's just making sure all those ones getting built for people up in the Northeast are getting built right, step by step, because he does phased inspections as well as your standard, resale inspections. And he's the official home inspector of Lowco Sports, Homegrown Home Inspections. And then you got Hospice Care of the Low Country. They're throwing a big party. I know y'all laugh about hospice parties, but hospice parties are where it's at. The Yacht Hop is the party of the year, like up there with Heritage. Even like Bryson Nimmer was there with Riley Miller. They were all in the white. Like it's a thing. You got to go to the hospice parties. So you got to go to Harmonious, and that's going to be a great event that will support the great work that they do in our community as the only not-for-profit hospice care and palliative care in Southern Beaufort County, making sure people aren't coming out of pocket for those necessary services that everyone should have access to. So let's get some folks in here. Oh, first I got a comment here before we move on. Jason Kegler, my man, made friends with him over on Facebook. He says, I'm forever a Jag. We did good tonight. I don't care how much y'all hate us. Ain't nobody hate y'all. We love the Jags, man. We believe in the Jags. Y'all in the come up. No, don't get it twisted. We love the Jags. No question about it. So, but let's get Marcus Walsh in here and Sammy W, because Sammy's got to eat a little bit of crow, but not very much, just a very small helping, because I mean, they went toe to toe.
It was a heavyweight fight out there, but just didn't go the way it works.
But they didn't quite have Foreman in them. Not quite.
They meant me, Crow. You get it?
Whatever.
What's up,
going
fellas?
on over there? What's happening, Marcus?
Man, what a ball game.
Talk about it. I got no voice.
I tell you what, it's like the tale of two cities. What a second half performance by the Beaufort Eagles. I mean,
Jaden Andrews in particular. Jaden Andrews looked like the running back they needed to emerge in the second half. Hey, he didn't look like that guy in the first half, but in the second half, he was impressive.
Not at all. And we typically do not award the player of the game and the play of the game to the same person. But I looked over at Daniel Court and I said, there is no question in my mind we have to do that this week for the same person, because he was just rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and then he ended up getting the game-winning touchdown. And it was just the flip of the dime, if you will. Hilton Head did exactly what I thought they needed to do, what I thought they would do. They came out and they started punching Beaufort in the mouth in that first half. Beaufort did make a lot of mistakes on their own, but I have a feeling, and he wouldn't say it, of course, but I have a feeling that Bryce Lybrand at halftime was not happy at all with his team, and he let them know it, because they came out and they looked completely different. They used a very methodical second half just to get things rolling. And then they ended up having some of those chunk plays, even in the first half, which BJ Payne was talking about. We cannot give up the big chunk plays. They did that just a little bit too much, and just a huge win for Beaufort. Daniel and I were talking about the fact in the first half, if they lose this game and they go to 0-3, it could be really tough for them to bounce back.
Well, and Samari Bonds is not healthy. His ankle's banged up pretty bad. And it was yeoman's work by Jonathan Chen to get him back on the field to close it out, but he was hurt, and that's it looked like high ankle type thing, and
Right.
that lingers, so I wouldn't count on him for Goose Creek next week. And they don't seem to have, I mean, I don't know what's going on in the JV, but there wasn't a backup there tonight. It was Caleb Bulmer,
Right.
and it was basically single wing Wildcat stuff. So, that's a big concern going forward.
Sure is.
But with that said,
it's worked for Librid's teams before.
yeah,
We've had
it can work, and it'll
Yeah.
be okay. I mean, it'll be okay. Whatever, it will be okay, as long as somebody's okay for region, because they're going to open with North Charleston. That's a big confidence builder. I mean, they can't tackle. It's not great. And then they got Battery Creek, who looked like, oh man, they're putting it together in the first half tonight, and then it fell apart badly in the second half. So, I mean, those are games that Buford should win. Even without their best game,
Sure.
without their best stuff, and then you got young kids building confidence, and they've been thrown into the fire, and you're getting ready for Hanahan and Philip Simmons, and so I think they're still okay. They found some guys tonight. They found Jaden Andrews is your guy in the backfield. Ulmer can spell him, and Ulmer can play defense where he's relentless. Like, he hits hard.
He's really relentless.
And they found Chaz Brown on the defensive line, number 50. I did not know his name coming in. He was, for me, I know Andrews, he got SAV's player of the game too. But for me, Chaz Brown was the player of the game because he kept them in it in the first half when they had no business being in it. And he locked it down at the end of the game.
That's a great point, JJ, without question. To get back to Samari Bonds real quick, I'm glad, and we had Kevin Libby, floating around and finding some information on some injuries and whatnot for us. I'm glad that we found out it was an ankle, because when he went down and it looked like he was holding his left knee. And I thought, if that's a knee, that's a huge problem. I mean,
at first I thought it was ankle, and then he kind of punched his kneecap, and I thought, oh no. But then when Jonathan got out there and looked at him, you could tell it was an ankle, and that was relief. But Sam, you went very hard in on the Seahawks tonight, and I'm going to tell you, they were the better team for most of that game. And I think BJ, he stayed true to himself in his philosophy. He was very conservative. But I think he's got to be kicking himself a little bit about not taking some chances in the first half when he had a chance to really deliver the knockout blow.
Yeah. A couple of those field goal attempts.
Yeah. I mean, it's a windy night. Shaky kickers, don't have much experience. I didn't like that.
I think you got to trust your quarterback. Jackson Bybee has really delivered these first two games. I liked what I saw against Battery Creek. Let him throw the football. Let him take some shots. When you got
I think he should have done that in the first half, and then he did in the second half, and he made a couple of bad decisions. And one of them was really costly on fourth down that Dom Camacho comes up with the pick. Dom Camacho also had a monster game on defense. He was all over the place. Will Cotting as well. I was super impressed with both defenses, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Timko ran wild last week, and he had no room to run until late in the game. And that was only because they were worried about Javarian Hamilton, who was the breakout player on Hilton Head's side for me. That one play, the touchdown play, I thought that was going to turn the game when they strung him out. They ran that reverse, and it was a good play call, but Buford snuffed it out, and they had it strung out, and he just stopped on a dime and turned and went back the other way and was gone like lightning. It was something else. And that got Buford's attention. They were paying him a lot of attention after that, and it opened some things up for Hilton Head. But I just felt like BJ had a chance to go for the knockout blow in the first half and didn't. He stuck to his conservative game plan, and I think he has to kind of feel like maybe that was a mistake in retrospect, which hindsight is 2020, but that's all we got.
I said
having that injury didn't help either.
I said this about the Sam Camacho play. Sorry, guys, but he was about the Javarian Hamilton play. He was flying and profiling just down the field. That was a huge touchdown. And
it was unreal. It was really the first big offensive play, good offensive play of the game.
Yeah.
Because up to that point, the biggest offensive play of the game had been a great defensive play that tipped to Durrell to pass. and that was like the only way they could get him the ball in the first half. They finally got him a little involved, but really it was Jaden Odom who really got it going on the outside for them. They hit him out on the edge a couple of times, and he was able to find some space. He's real shifty out there, able to make some quick cuts and make guys miss. And that opened it up a little bit inside. You know, they had to respect that. And Andrews was able to find some creases in the second half. And, man, when he gets a little sliver, he's electric. He can move.
Sure can.
He looks a little like Casey Fields when he gets moving.
Yeah,
he really does. He's shifty back there. So I think they found something there. You know, they went in with 5 running backs who also could be defensive players, you know, and it was kind of Bryce was still trying to figure out going into this week who his running back was. And, you know, I think Isaac Smalls is a guy who's going to give them some lightning, kind of a third down back type guy maybe. But I think Jaden Andrews is the workhorse guy after tonight. And then Ulmer fits in wherever needed, but he's going to be focused on defense, I would think, kind of moving forward, at least for the time being. But I think they figured out a lot about where the pieces need to go on the board. And it's, you know, it's a lot better to learn that in a narrow win than a narrow defeat.
Yeah, and I think we said that earlier today about how Buford just thrives on that type of adversity coming from behind, like we saw last year in the playoffs a couple times, and to have those lessons of what you learned about in Fort Dorchester and in Cane Bay to kind of, you know, assess where you are and you know, try out who you have in the backfield. And we saw a little bit about that last week. I was impressed with what I saw. Especially when you look at Andrews. He got a good amount of work, but we saw some others as well. But it seems like Andrews is really establishing separation, like he's going to be that go-to guy in the backfield. So, you know, it's a great job that Bryce Labyrinth has seemingly always done since the start of his career here at Buford. Just you know, to fine-tune and kind of assess like, which guy do I need to have to give my team the best chance at each position? And you know, now he's really done that with the run game, and you know, he's had some similar teams that revolves around that kind of you know, a team where you don't have that quarterback where you can turn to be a pocket passer, but a guy who can manage the game and then provide some strong play in terms of electricity in the run game. So we've seen that before. Obviously, this is going to be a tough region, but I think the schedule plays itself well that you have the easier teams at the beginning with North Charleston and then Battery Creek before you get into the hands of Philip Simmons. And by that point, you hope that Samari Bonds will be fully ready to go, which thankfully it looks like it might not be as serious as it originally seemed. So it's good to see for Buford and just to battle back on the road against Hilton Head team that I think is still going to be a problem in this region and their region 7-4A with what they showed and how they were able to establish things. You thought they were the better team. Obviously, you can be the better team, and then you can make the execution might not be there at some big points, and you end up losing the football game. So it's a fine line sometimes. Hilton Head played well, but just you got to play that full, in this case, 48 minutes to win a game against a good team, and unfortunately, it just came up short.
Yeah, it was a battle, man. Shai Thompson is a man. He dominated the first half, just dominated, and then you know he was matched up on Adrian Lamb a lot in the second half, and Adrian got the better of him in the second half, I thought. But Shai still, I mean, the play that Samari was injured on was all Shai, and just coming backside, flushing him out, and getting to him before he could get rid of it. And, you know, unfortunately, he rolled up on it a little bit. Just a good football play, good hard football play. But another guy I was really impressed with for Hilton Head was Josh Bigger, one of the freshmen. They're relying on defense. He was an absolute monster tonight. I mean, he came up with a ton of big plays. And you talked about that, Sam. Chaos Week, it's an opportunity for people who are pressed into duty to make a name for themselves. I thought he did. I thought Nathan Apey did. You know, I thought obviously Chaz Brown, just a monster game for Buford. But yeah, a bunch of those guys stepped up. They came and rose to the challenge.
Right.
You got nothing? You tired?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think if you look at it, I think what this came down to is Buford's a state champion.
Yep.
They know how to win tough games. Hilton Head not so much lately. And I think that showed at the end, that experience in those tough games, those tight games, how to make big plays. I mean, I'm proud of Hilton Head though. I thought they did very well. I think it was a couple times they just got too conservative early on,
Yep.
And it came back to bite them. But I hope they learn a lot from this. Like you said, we found some guys that they didn't know could really step up to the plate. They found that out, so I think they should be feeling good going in the region.
Yeah, no question. I think that's a great segue. Sorry, I'm multitasking, trying to book more gas, trying to find us more gas. Unfortunately, Chris Terry's driving down the interstate, so he can't jump in. I was going to holler at him for a minute and hear about that Hampton game, but I do want to talk a little bit about just kind of resetting the metric in Region 7 4A. Because we felt like it was kind of jumbled up, right? May River going off.
Anybody you guys got any stats on that?
Yeah, I do. I got hard stats on that. Misa basically like pulling SID status over here. He's like rivaling. He's better than Jeff Strickland. He sent me it all typed out. Excuse me. My voice is shot, y'all. Tanner Macy, 14 carries, 124 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
4 for 8 for 66 and a touchdown.
Man.
Ace 1 for 15. Andrew Johnson, 9 for 67 and a touchdown. Jordan Williams, 11 for 127 and a touchdown. That's the missing link, I think, maybe. Jordan, what do you think? I don't know. That's good.
No comment.
Duncan with 3 for 51 and a touchdown. Nodelman 1 for 6. Then they brought in Thomas Bro at quarterback. He was 9 for what? Don't make me say. Oh, 9 rushes for 26. 2 for 3 for 3 yards. Trace Mishick with the catch. Cole Simmons with the catch. Cameron Mitchell and Nodelman, the wood layer, with 2 interception each. 2 fumbles on special teams. 2 fumbles on defense. Bryce Harris a sack. So, I mean, it was just Tanner was out at halftime with those numbers. So it was a beatdown.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And
it is. It's very interesting.
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
What's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, you got Bluffton, who has shown some quality play so far.
Oh, they got a game, by the way. They got Frederica Academy from St. Simon's coming up on Thursday night. Little Thursday night special.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Thursday night, Frederica Academy coming on up. Little interstate matchup because they lost the Woodland game tonight.
Where'd they find these guys?
I don't know, man. They went matchmaking. They lost the game, so they got a bye week next week. They don't want 2 weeks off. They want to play, so they found a match.
But
Frederica Academy, let's roll.
Yeah,
I believe Frederica may be alma mater of one Adam Wainwright, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. He can really sing too, by the way.
I believe that's right. Talk amongst yourselves. I got to look that up.
Well, guys, I've got the May River Buford game in 2 weeks. I do not have a game for WHHI next week. We're taking a bye week. Might go possibly and scout that May River Battery Creek matchup because in a few weeks we'll see Battery Creek against Whale Branch. I mean, I hate to say it right now, but I'm thinking I know who's going to win that game.
You can.
But hey, man, Battery Creek got him last year, and I would have said the same thing last year.
I'm not going to go through that.
I was wrong. I was wrong. Stat Boy and myself. Wainwright went to Glenn Academy, but he is from the Frederica area of St. Simon's.
They definitely didn't get Glenn Academy. I know they didn't do that.
Nah, Glenn's on another level.
You don't want those problems.
But once again, you cannot always apply the transit property in football. Every game its own matchup. That Battery Creek Whale Branch, that's a
game
kind of rivalry.
Well, here's the other thing. Like, you think they're both going to be the same team they are now in however many weeks? We got a long way to go, brother.
Yeah,
we got a long way to go.
But I don't see that one being close though.
No, I don't think so. I think Whale Branch are legit dogs this year. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play them
Yeah,
cats.
yeah.
Like
I think they do. I mean,
Daryl
you can't look too far over the Bamberg Airport, but I think that's
Bamberger Earhart. It's gonna come down to Bamberger Earhart versus Whale Branch, and that's just the way it is. That's the way it is every year. That's the way it's gonna be this year. We're gonna be Whale Branch and Bamberger Earhart, and we know it's gonna
Oh
be
man.
Bamberger Earhart, and Bamberger Earhart knows it's gonna be Whale Branch. But man, when my voice is raspy, I got Hatcher real good. I got that one nailed. I
You
got to
got
take that
Hatcher
one on
down.
the road. I'm
Very
taking that
good,
one
yeah.
to Reels, baby. We're gonna do a Hatcher post game on Reels. Have some fun with it. But I know my man Dwight and Daryl and them are gonna be cracking up when they see this. They ain't in that Waffle House right now, but they're gonna see this later and they're gonna appreciate it. But let's talk about some other games, fellas. We talked a lot about these ones, and I got too many tabs open. I wish we could get somebody on to talk about that Hampton game, man. Here's what I'll do. I'll give you my. I love these text thread updates. These are fun. We'll just say from an anonymous source. We'll just put it that way. How about that? Just keep it anonymous.
Yeah.
13-7 us. That's from the Hampton standpoint. N1. Zion probably over 100 with 2 TDs. 13-10. They are huge. Half 13-10. Down 17-13. Zion 40-yard touchdown. 20-17. Going to fourth. Our ball on plus 35. TD pass to Mathis. Like, which Mathis? Oh, Desmond. I was like, DeMonte? Did they put DeMonte at tight end? Man, that would have been amazing. But no, it's Desmond. 27-17, 10:02 to go. 27-24, 6:28 to go. And then I got holy ished. I let one slip last night. Not going to do it tonight. I'm mixing it up outcast style. Ished. We faked the punt on 50, completed it. They chased us down on the 6 and stripped it. They drove down, 32-yard field goal, bad snap. We returned it to 20, needed out, 27-24 final. Hurricanes survive. And that's
who are they playing?
They were playing Emerald. Remember, you told us Emerald.
That's a very good Emerald team. That's a very good team, and I expected that to be close for Hampton to hang on in such an emotional game like that and to go 3-0. With all that game entails, playing in front of your home crowd first time in this new branding as the Hampton County Hurricanes. That means a lot, and that team just. It's good to win a close game, to have that feeling that you can come up big late in a ball game like that, and I'm just so excited for that fan base and just how awesome it is to have those two schools who were great on their own joined together and to play like this. It's a great occasion to see that and just awesome to see this team continue to excite that entire county, because we got Patrick Henry making some moves. We got Hampton County.
I can almost taste the Rigdon's fried chicken before Hilton Head Hampton, man. I can almost taste it. Oh, DJ tells me you can feed a whole mess of people for like $63. Like, we're gonna get into some Rigdon's fried chicken. And we're gonna get into some Hilton Head Hampton. Two of the slickest looking uniforms. It's going to be confusing because they're both the same color.
Yeah, it is.
They're both the same color, but two of the slickest looking kits around, man. Like it is going to be fire. It is going to be fire. And then they both play mean defense too. Hilton Head's defense really flew around tonight. I was really impressed. Really impressed. They got some dogs over there. They have
especially like juice. I said, being down a man. And this is the kind of game that one guy makes a difference.
Yeah,
he really does.
May have been
even like Timko probably had to take a few more carries than they'd like him to at times because they just didn't know what they had behind him. And AP I thought was pretty effective, but he only took like 3 carries. Like they ran Timko hard, and he still has some juice at the end. That he's a really good football player.
He is.
But let's take a quick segue to recognize some more sponsors before we let this thing get away from us. Varsity sponsors, we got DDS Web Design for all you very online people who are watching live streams at 12:22 in the AM. You come across a website that's not doing it for you, let them know that DDS Web Design is the best web designer in town that will get them found online using SEO techniques. Dave and Denise especially love to work with small businesses and nonprofits to help them do more and get found online through their website. So hit them up at ddshhi.com to get your website working for you. And we got the Parker Law Group. We've been talking a lot about Hampton and Jasper and Colleton tonight. Parker Law Group been doing work out there for folks for years and years, representing their legal needs, and now they're helping us continue to expand our coverage into those counties. And we had a great report from the farm tonight from Patrick Henry, powerhouse in Skeeza 1A now, trying to get another trophy, another round of rings over there. So shout out to Parker Law Group for helping us do that. And if you're out in Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties, be sure to call on them for your legal needs. And guys, what else we want to talk about? We got a little time here. Get through it.
Tough one for Battery Creek. That was a game that I thought they had in hand against Calhoun County. Had a pretty sizable lead at halftime and couldn't hold on. So it's tough. It's tough to go 0-3 especially when you had such a good start like that, and you've been in a bunch of these games just unable to close it out. But you just got to push on and march forward. But I still like what Susie's doing over there. I think this team's gonna, once they get in the region play, I think they're gonna scrap and claw and there's some chances there. Of course, North Charleston's a big one, but I like the way this team's developing. You just got to find a way to play that full 48s, but some strides have been made this year, and I like what Chase Olson is going to bring eventually as he continues his process development. So still a lot to like there, despite a couple of games which definitely could have gone the other way for him.
Yeah, no question. I do believe in him. Like the analogy I used earlier, I still think is apt. He's like that guy that you drafted to develop for a couple of years, and then your star gets hurt in the first preseason game, and you got to turn to him, or the last preseason game, and you got to turn to him, and it's like, all right, kid, it's yours. And he's going to be fine, but it's going to be a learning process, a growing process. And we saw with Samari Bonds tonight, it's still a learning process for him, and he's got a ring, So it's the defense is trying to stop you. They're trying to mess you up. they're gonna make it hard for you.
Yeah, I think we kind of harped on this before. I think before we had a guest on, but this region, it continues to add a lot more wrinkles in 7-4A with the rise of May River now. Hilton Head playing some really good ball. I think James Island right now is up there at the top. Lucy Beckham still don't know much about them, but
did they play tonight? Anybody got a score on them?
I don't know, but I can get it if you let Wes keep talking for a minute.
I have to see how Lucy Beckham was doing, because that was a team that was very solid last year and played good fundamental football. And that's a team that's always going to give you a tough game in this region. But yeah, and Colleton County is kind of the wild card. The jury still isn't out on what we could see from them. I think it could go south.
Beckham didn't play tonight. They didn't play tonight, but they've outscored their first two 96-0. So that's something. That's something.
And then kind of segue that Colleton. We still have one more game this week. Colleton at Lightnell at Colleton. That will be a home game for the Cougars. Adam Kinlock. A lot of excitement that came into his program this year with all the guys that came in, players that they're able to add to the program, and certainly they've had some. It's going to be a tough one against a very good White team, but I kind of like how they've started out the year, and they played a very, very good game against a strong Hampton County team. Haven't seen them since because they were off last week, but
they're off last week.
Excited to see how they do, but this is going to be a very tough ball game to win. I think you're right, and I don't think we need to necessarily measure this week the win versus loss based on the scoreboard, because this is an important week for them in a sense. No, I mean, like, I think they can lose the game and it still be a win for their program in a way, because this is an important game in a sense, because they did have a good showing. They had something to build off of against Hampton. They played a really strong game defensively.
In fact, Chris Terry said tonight that the summary of the game was it was all Zion. They couldn't stop Zion, and Colleton bottled him up pretty good. He was a little banged, but they did a good job. He finally got going in the fourth quarter, but they had a good showing, and then they had a week off to go back to work and learn from it, and so. I think it's important that they play well this week, but I think they can play well and not win because it's a strong opponent. And that's all I mean by that is they can move things forward even if they don't win. There is a moral victory at play for Colleton this week, I think.
I got a question.
Okay.
So we got Lucy Beckham. Go back to them. They put the smackdown on a couple people, right?
They put the smackdown on Lake Marion, which but then they put the smackdown on Wando.
Right. And I mean, if you look at James Island, you know what they are.
Yeah, they're good.
Who are we gonna hang our hats on?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know, do we? I mean, is it Hilton Head? Yeah. Is it Bluffton? Is it May River? It's been May River, but we weren't sure it was going to be. But after tonight, maybe it is. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not sold on that one, man. I don't know.
I think I would say Hilton Head right now. I think Hilton Head is the most balanced team. But I'm hearing that May River, they're talking about this was the best football game they've played in the history of the school. Like, that's the way they feel about it, real or not, recency bias. But maybe there's something there. You saw them last week, but
I think they're.
I would have to see.
It's a fair question.
Man.
We mentioned earlier that the one win
in there that might rival what we've seen. But
a comment was made to me tonight that it was a similar demographic in the sense of it's a kind of a gated community type of school, and there's a lot of and May River was kind of able to bully a little bit tonight, and they may not be able to when they play more physical teams because they're not as physical as they have been in the past, so I don't know. I don't know what it means. We don't know what it means. We're piecing it together week by week.
I think it's still a little bit early. I can say this, that I plan, and I was talking to Daniel Court, if we get out to the May River Battery Creek game, because we do not have a game next week to scout those two teams, we will see May River against Beaufort in 2 weeks. And then we will see them again against Bluffton. And we'll also have, I won't be on the call of this one, but we will have the Hilton Head Bluffton game as well. I mean, I think it's going to come down 7-4A from what I've heard about James Island. They're outstanding. But I wouldn't count out just yet either Bluffton, May River, or Hilton Head. Coming into the game tonight, I was riding really high on Hilton Head. I didn't want to say that I thought they were going to win because I just didn't know. I thought that this was going to be.
You were agnostic.
And that type of thing. And I was for tonight because I wasn't sure. And things kind of played out as much as they did. As well as they did, as I thought.
I'll tell you this. I wasn't sure either. I felt like it was Beaufort. I wasn't sure. But no matter what, I didn't see it playing out like it did. I didn't either. Beaufort looked completely lost on offense in the first half. Both defenses were outstanding. And then Jaden Andrews looked like a different man in the second half. But really, I credit, Andrews, he got it done in the second half, but it was that defense that kept him in it. Rob Goral has, he found a gem in Chaz Brown. He's got an absolute bulldog middle linebacker that's way too small to be a middle linebacker, and Will Cotting, who just plays downhill. Dom Camacho is a playmaker in every sport. He's a dog. He's a competitor. And they got a bunch of those guys. And Jaden Simmons is a force on the line. Robert Johnson was really good tonight. I mean, it was Yeoman's work on defense. It was a real team effort. And that's what I took away is that defense is ready to play. They're going to keep you in the game. And then you got a chance with Samari and some playmakers at the end. If you can grind them down, Jaden Andrews is going to get you some yards in the fourth quarter. So I think Beaufort, as scary as it was, they should have been down a whole lot more in the first half, a whole lot more. They were very fortunate to be where they were, and they got the job done, and they have to feel pretty good about the kids who stepped up to get it done. Isaac Smalls, I got to shout him out because he emerged on offense last week, and it looked like maybe he's the guy. Maybe he's the running back, right? He had like 81 yards on 12 carries or something and a touchdown, and it was like, oh, he's fast. But he's a defensive guy first. He started on defense for him last year as a freshman, got a ring. So, I think tonight they found out Jaden's better suited on offense and Isaac's better suited on defense. They wanted him to be a little more patient on offense and wait for things to develop, but that's not him. He's a go guy, and you need that on defense. You need a guy who just sees the ball and goes and makes a play. And I think they figured that out a little bit tonight, that Isaac's the guy at corner. And they really locked down the receivers for most of the night with Isaac and Dom at the two corners. Jake Huggins, we didn't say his name for a real long time. He did make a couple big plays late. Well, but that's a credit to the secondary. They locked him down, and then they had to get real creative to get Javarian Hamilton involved too. They did a great job of limiting them in the first half, and both coaches made good adjustments at halftime to try to get their playmakers more involved and make things happen. But it was a really fun game, just a slugfest. Very, very unexpected, very emblematic of Chaos Week, I would say.
Yeah.
It was good times.
Without question.
All right, fellas. Well, I think we can call it a night. We said a good bit about all the games that were worth talking about, and we had friends come on. We had Daryl and KJ. It was good times. A rambling wild ride. So we can shout out our last sponsors, and I would say go to bed, but I'm obviously amped up on adrenaline. That's not happening for quite some time, despite the fact that softball practice comes early tomorrow. But let's shout out that Lowco Booster Club, Prime IV Hydration and Wellness, now open in Belfair Town Village. Go see my guy Max and get juiced up while you sit in the massaging chair. That sounds good. Maybe I can make time for that Sunday. That would be good.
Yeah, nice long weekend. So.
Yeah, true story. Rooted Living Wellness as well. Another place where you can get your body feeling right with my guy Ambrose Cole, Mizou. He is the man. He'll get your mind and your body right in one session and just have you feeling like $1 million when you come out of there. And the athletes should go see him too, because he does the ART chiropractic and works those pressure points and gets those ligaments and tendons, a little more room to work. So get you feeling better and feeling 100% for game day. Then you got Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Chris Odom keeping those floors so clean. Your feet will thank them, whether it's wood, tile, or vinyl. And they also clean your carpet, your upholstery. I mean, I could listen to Chris just rattle off all the things he can clean for days. It's like Forrest Gump talking about.
I was just going to say that.
It's it really is. It sounds like Bubba Gump talking about shrimp when he's like, wood floors, tile floors. He's from Greenville, so he's got this nice Southern accent and just pleasant as can be. And it's a joy. He's a great guy. You'll also enjoy just talking with him when he comes over to clean your stuff up. So give him a call. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. And then you got Eagle Creations. They're awesome. You know Mandy and Bill really well, Marcus.
I do. They're
good folks.
Terrific. They did.
Man, I'll tell you what. Mandy operates in the same kind of weird ADHD sphere that I do, because she has to, because no matter how late in the game it is and how tight the deadline is, she will figure it out. She'll get it done for you somehow, some way. She'll come up with something, and I appreciate her for it. She's bailed me out a couple times. She can do it for you too. If you got a travel team needs an emergency jersey for the weekend or something, she'll find something in that warehouse over on Argent. She'll get you hooked up. She'll find a hat, slap a patch on it, and you'll be good to go. But call on Eagle Creations for all your one-stop needs: promotional products, apparel, trophies, awards. You're going to be planning for postseason awards soon. Call Eagle Creations. Tell them Lowco sent you. And then your buddy Daniel Court, who was by your side tonight for that epic game. You can hear the replay on WHHI. Court Lifestyle Pros and Charter One also coming on board this year as a Lowco Booster Club sponsor. Hometown Realtors, lifelong Low Country residents, and all around good people. So those are all the people who make it possible. Thanks so much to all y'all for jumping in. It's always fun talking with you. You add so much to the conversation and allow me to rest my voice for a little bit every now and then. And you know what? Let's do it Monday night, Wes. Let's do a lowdown. Get caught up on what happens this weekend, and let's round up this crew again on Friday and go wire to wire one more time. How's it sound?
Love it.
All right. Thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks to our guests tonight, especially to Daryl and KJ from Well Branch jumping on. Daryl Cummings, KJ Chisholm, know the names because those are dudes. You want them to play for you on Saturday. I promise. They are dogs.
They
and thanks so much.
Oh, yeah,
they're awesome. Man, thanks to Jeff Strickland too for the live shot from the farm. That was awesome. It's always good times when we go live out there. You never know what's going to happen. Gerald Freeman making an appearance. That guy's crazy. Go on the sidelines of Patrick Henry, Wes. Whew, that guy's wild. All right, let's call it a night, boys. I am tired. That's going to do it for me and Marcus Walsh and Sam Williams and Wes Kerr. Until next time, go Lowco.